एक बुंद सोच की ttalk train of thought with a series of nuggets and the ideas from Dr. Neil Sequeira, CEO of Head and Neck Cancer Institute of India. I think it's a really interesting nuggets and the conversation what we are having with Dr. Neil Sequeira on this exclusively on this ttalk platform. So welcome again. Now, in fact, when we talk in terms of an HR skills that every professional could have, so what are those kind of skill sets which the professional should have?
That's a good question. There are different skills that definitely all professionals need to have. Some are very, very function specific, whether they are in finance, whether they're HR, whether they're in marketing, or whether they're in any line of business. But according to me, there are some common skills that all professionals need to have. And I think the one which sits on the top and the most important one is communication. Mm-hmm. I mean, there is so much spoken about it, there's so much of talk about it, but the reason is that I still am a big fan of the basic communication model, mm-hmm. A sender, a receiver, a message, and the feedback. Mm-hmm. This appears very simple, but many a times, we take communication for granted. It's very important for all professionals, firstly, to actually convert what they're thinking into speaking. Mm-hmm. This could be in their formal communication, it could also be in their informal communication. This could also be important, in any, let me give an example of a marketing person. He goes to a customer and he pitches for a particular product, say a bulb. And it's very important for him to understand what he's going to talk, what is the view of the customer, and then, probably modify his conversation according to the customer. Mm-hmm. That is what you teach in marketing. Mm-hmm. So feedback to the entire communication process is extremely, extremely important. And that feedback can happen only if you as a professional are willing to listen.
Correct.
Many a times, especially senior professionals, learned professionals, fall into this entire trap of, thinking that they know everything and becoming bad listeners. Mm-hmm. They know that being a bad listener is bad, but they inadvertently do that. Mm-hmm. So along with great communication, great listening skills are very, very important. Mm-hmm. If you listen carefully as a professional, you will get to know the solution to the problem. Correct. Lies somewhere in the problem itself.
Correct,
right?
Correct.
The next great skill is conflict resolution. Conflict is the central to every aspect of humanity. Mm-hmm. It's there not only between Ukraine and Russia, mm-hmm. okay,
Correct.
but is there also between Usha and Rakhi.
Correct.
Right, that is mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. It's very important to have this conflict resolved. We all live in houses where there are conflicts, and all of us try to resolve these conflicts.
Correct.
Similarly, managers will have conflicts. They will have conflicts between performers in their team. They will have conflicts with other managers. Mm-hmm. It's very important for you to be able to resolve the conflict.
Correct.
Otherwise, what happens, like in every conflict, the toxicity moves from the reason for the conflict to the people involved in the conflict.
Correct.
Suppose you and I are upset about this microphone. Mm-hmm. After some point of time, I am upset with you, I am not upset about the microphone. Mm-hmm. If we don't resolve the conflict.
Correct.
So that's why you need to have great conflict resolution skills. Mm-hmm. The third very surprising thing about great professional skill is maintenance of confidentiality. Mm-hmm. And HR is supposed to be the department where information is supposed to be confidential. I use the word supposed
Correct.
With intent here.
Correct.
But I think it's very important for us to maintain confidentiality because it's a great characteristic of a profession.
Correct.
Correct. Many people, when you are a senior person, come and tell you a lot of things. And it's very natural for human beings to sit, gossip, talk about it, or inadvertently let out this information. But it's very important to understand that confidentiality is a great trait. Another important trait is flexibility. Mm-hmm. Right? आप एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जा रहे हो, आपका प्लान है वहां जाना.
Correct.
आपने सोचा है रोज एक 10:15 की बस आती है, वो कभी फेल हुई नहीं आज तक.
Correct.
आपको पता है वो 11 बजे तक आपको आपके ठिकाने पहुंचा देती है. वो बस आई नहीं आज. आपको ऑल्टरनेटिव प्लान करना ही है.
Correct.
आपकी पूरी जिंदगी को आप ऑल्टरनेटिव प्लान से चलाते हो.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
I would be rather sitting right now and giving an interview in Las Vegas with a very pretty lady. But Dr. Chima is taking my interview. I have found my way here. So flexibility is extremely important. And in management, day to day, you are constantly trying to navigate your path and trying to be flexible because there is no plan which goes exactly as per plan.
Correct.
And of course, I always talk about ethics. I think it is always the most important characteristic to have as a human. When I say ethics, it is doing the right thing when nobody is watching.
Correct. Your conscience should say like
आपका conscience आपको बोलना चाहिए यार ये सही है, ये जो करने जा रहा हूँ ये गलत है, ये नहीं होना चाहिए. ये बात नहीं कि कोई वहाँ कैमरा देख रहा है या ऑडिट में पकड़ा जाएगा.
Correct.
आपका इधर का जो दिल से आवाज आनी चाहिए सर. And that is what great organizations will be made of people who behave in an ethical way. Because अगर ethics नहीं है ना सर, the entire fabric of the society, the fabric of humanity gets disturbed.
Correct.
It is actually doing the right thing and standing up against the wrong.
Correct.
Napoleon once said, the bad thing in this world is not because of bad people. It is because good people who don't raise their voice.
Correct.
So ethics is not only doing the right thing, but also standing up for something which is wrong, saying no, I don't agree to this.
Correct.
This is not wrong, this is not correct, and this is unjust. I think these are some of the skills that
I think 5 skill sets as a HR professionals which are there. We talk in terms of communication, we talk in terms of how to resolve the conflict within an organization and how to keep the confidential data or the informations which are there. And also you need to be flexible. If you're more rigid while working in the corporate place, then I think it backfires to a certain extent, and the ethics needs to be there. Like, it's not that somebody is watching you, but if you follow the ethical practices, I'm sure in the long term you can stand within an organization. That's good for you and for an organization also. It's a great insight given by Dr. Sequeira on ttalk ek Boond Soch ki. Keep on watching for next nuggets, a powerful nugget by Dr. Sequeira on ttalk ek Boond Soch ki. Sir, thanks a lot for
Thank you, sir.
your insight. Thank you.